Retired four-star Navy Admiral James Stavridis served more than 30 years in U.S. Navy and was NATO Supreme Allied commander. His new book, To Risk It All, 9 Conflicts and the Crucible of Decision, details 9 heroic stories throughout our country's naval history and the lessons in leadership that shaped his career and the trajectory of naval tactics. Admiral, thank you so much for joining us. Before we turn to your book, I want to ask you about the war in Ukraine. We're now more than 3 months into this conflict. Clearly, Vladimir Putin has not achieved exactly what he set out to do, but just give us an assessment of where you think that things stand and how you think the fight that could play out in the coming weeks and months from now.
Linsey, we're at a pivotal moment as follows. As you correctly point out, Vladimir Putin, Plan A has failed. That was to take over the entire country, decapitate the Zelensky government. That's a failure. What he has done, Plan B, is to consolidate his forces in the southeast of Ukraine. It makes it an easier military problem for him. He doesn't have the long logistic lines. It's a more concentrated objective. So now he's trying to grind it out, gain a bit more territory. Ukrainians are fighting him very hard. And thus the pivot is that over the next 2 to 4 months, Putin will probably want and need to get to a negotiation. He is burning through troops, many killed in action. He's burning through financial reserves. The question, Linsey, is whether the Ukrainians, after all the blood, all the treasure they have spilled repelling these invaders, whether they will be willing to negotiate. We'll see where it goes. At the moment, the battle is poised on a knife's edge.
And you write in your book that an essential quality of a good leader is to combine the hard work of analysis with grace under extreme pressure. How have you seen these traits in how Ukraine's President Zelensky has managed this conflict, despite only having a few years' experience leading his country?
He's remarkable, and I think has been consistently underestimated, starting with Vladimir Putin underestimating him. If you had said to Volodymyr Zelensky 2 years ago that he would be standing in combat tactical gear, leading his nation in a heroic defense, I think he would have been as surprised as the rest of us. He has risen to Churchillian heights, kind of like Winston Churchill in the run-up to World War II. Really quite a remarkable performance. And here's why, Linsey, and it has to do with risk and the idea we explore in the book, To Risk It All. When Zelensky turns his head on those front lines and looks behind him, what does he see? He sees his wife, his children, his parents, the elders of his society, his cities, his civilization, his language. All of that would be erased by Vladimir Putin. That's real motivation. That's why Zelensky is risking it all and doing it very effectively.
And you, of course, sir, could teach a master class in decision-making and leadership, given your years of military experience. How would you say you came about developing these 9 key elements that you lay out that make a great, effective decision maker?
It's a combination, Linsey, of my own personal experiences, not only in the military, but in civilian life. And I put that alongside stories. It's really a book of storytelling about some characters in history who have faced that kind of crucial moment. My belief is that all of us will face a moment of extreme decision-making at some point, and it may be in a combat situation for a military person, certainly. So much more often, it's at the scene of an automobile accident, in an active shooter situation, as we see so tragically frequently here, in the kind of dark moment in a hospital where we have to make a decision now about a medical choice. Those kind of moments come for all of us. We can best prepare for them by thinking about others who have gone through them, learning from them, and applying the kind of principles I explore in the book.
And in your book, you include the recent story of Captain Crozier of the USS Roosevelt aircraft carrier dealing with that COVID outbreak on a ship in 2020. He was relieved from duty after not using the proper channels to notify his superiors. But he said that he felt it was necessary to put his crew's safety before his own career and reputation. This was, of course, a highly debated decision. Talk to us about why you think that captain made the right call.
Brett Crozier, who I know quite well, he was on my team when I was a NATO commander, is a profile in courage. He stood and delivered for his crew, knowing full well it was going to cost him his career. And yes, he sent a message that could have been protected in classified channels, but his view, and I share it, is this: we were not at war with another nation. We weren't in combat, but we were in a war with COVID. And he did what he had to do to push the Navy, to bring that ship into port, to allow social distancing, to save lives of his crew. I think Brett Crozier can hold his head very high today.
Some really good tips and insight there, retired Admiral James Stavridis. We thank you so much for joining us. To Risk It All, 9 Conflicts in the Crucible of Decision is available now wherever books are sold.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.